Welcome to another episode of the Gangsta Rap Odyssey. I am the Mexican Megatron. Today's episode, we got Stillmatic. Nas, baby. The year 2001 is when this record dropped. First Nas record I ever bought. I needed that Ether track, and I was surprised, man, because I love this record. I bumped the hell out of this record back in the day. Stillmatic. Probably my favorite Nas record. Maybe we're going to go through every song, though. I'm going to give you my opinion after many years of listening to this. Just sitting down and analyzing every fucking song is something else. It's crazy. Let's go over the wiki, though. Let's talk about this shit. Let's see what we got here, man. I just want to look at the numbers, when did it come out? December 18th, 2001. That's cool. Yeah, his feud with Jay-Z. Jay-Z had previously dissed Nas in his song Takeover from the Blueprint. I don't know. I never heard it. I'll take their word for it. Let's see the critical reception that we got. What did the source give it? The source gave Stillmatic 5 mics. Damn. I think I forgot about that or something. I don't know, man. Ratings are pretty high. Who gave it a low one? Spin. What the fuck does Spin know? 7 out of 10. All right, I guess. Los Angeles Times, West Coast. What is that, like 4.5 stars or something? 3.5, whatever. Not bad. Metacritic is kind of low. Metacritic, I thought they just did video games. Whatever. I guess they do music too. So they have it at a 69 out of 100. Criminally low. Who the fuck is getting on Metacritic and reviewing Nas and giving it a low fucking score? So, I don't want to do too much of a spoiler alert. But spoiler alert, this is a good record. How did it sell, however? How did it sell? Let's look at these features, though, man. Not that many features. We got AZ, Amari, I don't know who that is, Millennium Thug, Blitz, The Ambassador, Keon Bryce. I don't know. The only person that's of any fame would be AZ. The producers, Large Professor, Hitman, DJ Premier, LES, Trackmasters. All right, man. It's respectable. Some bonus shit that I never got. What about the numbers? How did it sell? Weekly charts, year-end charts, U.S. Billboard 200, 31, U.S. top R&B hip-hop albums, number 5. But where did it peak? So obviously it peaked number 1 on the hip-hop albums. Of course it would, right? And then the Billboard 200 for the U.S., it was number 5. That's the highest that it did in the world. Just out of, random, random knowledge here that I'm seeing on the wiki. German albums, it was 64 out of the top 100. Canada, it hit number 9. And Australia, 54. So interesting, interesting. Did it go platinum, though? Let's see. It did go platinum. I don't know when it went platinum. In the United Kingdom, it went gold. In Canada, I don't know. It also went gold. All right. So it did pretty good, man. Pretty successful record. It had a couple hit singles, if I remember correctly. Let me see. One Mic, that was a single. I remember hearing that on the radio. Got Yourself a Gun was a video. And then, of course, the Immortal Ether, the Jay-Z diss, that was that was a hit, even though it wasn't really was it a single? I don't think so. So that's all I know there. That's your random knowledge from the wiki page. Everything else is just kind of sample information here. 2001, hell of a year. Just a couple months after 9/11. I don't think 9/11 was mentioned at all on this record. It was all then recorded before the Twin Towers fell. Very interesting. When you look at the cover art, I'm not even sure the Twin Towers are inside the sleeve and whatnot. Let's take a look at it, man. Let's just get into the CD reveal. Let's open this baby up and look over the graphics. All right, here we got Nas Stillmatic, the physical release. Let's check out the back here. Producer is Destiny Jones. I believe that is his daughter, so that's super cool. Got the entire track listing back here, of course. Do we have a year on here when this came out? I'm thinking, what, 2001? I don't know. There's the side. It's cool, man. It's pretty creative. You know, I like the back, though. It's funny, we're going to talk about the back before the front, but New York Mets cap. It's dope. Streets of New York there, I assume. And then we got the cover. One of the dopest covers that's ever been created for a hip-hop record, in my opinion. You know, I think it's fucking crazy. I love it, man. I love these fucking birds. What are they? Whatever they're called, pigeons. Fucking pigeons. They're like all the rage now, man. They're all over TV commercials, insurance and shit and whatever. But yeah, fucking pigeons. Anyways, I like the Nas logo, man. That's sick, man. I like the use of it in some of his videos. This is just a cool cover, man. It's just fucking cool. You know, Nas just looks like he's just like, yeah, whatever, you know. You can tell that there's going to be a back graphic, so that's nice. Let's open it up, man. This is what we got back in 2001. Boom, baby. Look at that shit. That's sick. It's pretty slick, man. This Illmatic-like, you know, I'm getting that vibe from Illmatic. Nas just looking at us, thinking he's all cool. I love it, man. And let's see what we got back here. Damn, bro, look at that shit. Stillmatic. The lightning coming down. Reminds me of some Hollywood Hogan shit or something ridiculous you would see in wrestling. Yeah, Stillmatic. You know, I like the still. I think that says Stillmatic right here, man. I think so. Pretty sweet graphic there. You know, try to focus here, you know, the city of New York. Let's take a look at the CD insert. All right, cool. So we're about to get some flash shit here, you know. We got some credits here. I love this, man. Credits to all the tracks. Rest in peace, Ill Will. Rest in peace, Aaliyah. Rest in peace to this guy. And then it goes on, man. Little commercial here for some other shit, some advertisements. Ill Will Records. You know, you gotta love having credits, am I right? Something you just don't get anymore. Credits. I mean, it's just so fucking cool. I mean, if you're old school like me, you love these credits. You get to see who produced what and who wrote what, the features, all that good shit, you know. I love it, man. Let's flip this over. That's a hell of a graphic. Man, the job they did on here is just, it's stunning. It's just second to none, man. You'll not find quality like this topped. I don't care if it's a double disc or single or whatever, man. This whole thing is just fucking sweet. Just take a final scroll here, you know? Why not? This graphic right here is hella cool. Try to get that reflection out of the way, but I love this graphic right here. Nas just looking down with his Slick Rick SK chains and all that, man. The jewelry. It's cool hat QB. It's dope. And then, of course, the final picture over here. New York Mets. I fucks with all of this. I love it all. And it just folds back nicely. You know, folds back nicely. Like a puzzle. So, That's our product, man. That is our fucking product right there. Boom. You know, Stillmatic. The quality is second to none. I really think that this is top-notch shit. You know, I loved getting CDs back in the day that had the back graphic, you know, had some nice graphics to go with the credits instead of just like a one-pager thing, you know. Nothing bootleg about this. Even the CD itself has a nice graphic printed on there. It's just sick, man. This is top-notch shit. I love it, but what about the music? How top-notch is the music? Let's dive into that. So, Stillmatic. The first song, the title track, Stillmatic. Short, 2 minutes, kind of an intro, right? It's pretty upbeat. It's kind of a bright, bumping track, though. Nas's words and rhymes, they're pretty meaningful, even complex, but, you know, you wanted this. This is a Nas record, and he begins to deliver immediately. That beat made by Hangman 3, sometimes people will say online that it's still their favorite fucking intro or favorite song on the record. I don't know. It's just something else, man. It's like, ding, ding. It's pretty cool, man. Blood of a Slave, Heart of a King, Nas. Pretty cool intro. I think it starts off the record in fine fashion. You know, you're hyped up. You're getting ready to get into this shit. For me, back in the day, I was like, I didn't know what to expect. I thought it was, it was kind of an upbeat track, and I was like, all right, this is that Nas style. But then we go into number 2, Ether. And what can you really say about Ether? Like I say, it's a fucking immortal track. It's legendary. It's considered by many one of the greatest disses of all time. It might be. I think I've said that it probably is the best diss of all time. Every time I listen to it, I feel like I learned something new. You know, you ever have a track like that? Not a diss track, but Nas, Ether does that, man. Every time I listen to it, there's more one-liners, there's little things that, and what's interesting too is that it's not even what he says, but when you read between the lines, you know, you get more out of it. It's crazy. I think that the beat is actually not even too distracting. The bass is booming. It's not a complex beat, and Nas is actually able to really shine here, which makes it the perfect song for a diss track because he has your attention and he's not letting go of it. This track is full of just one classic liners, man. It's just such a vicious diss track. Across the belly, I prove you lost already. Been fucked over, left for dead, distant, forgotten. Luck ran out. They hope that I'll be gone, stiff and rotten. Y'all just piss on me, shit on me, spit on my grave. Talk about me, laugh behind my back, but in my face, shot some well wishing, friendly acting, envy, hiding snakes. With your hands out for my money, man. How much can I take when the streets keep calling? Heard it when I was asleep that this Gazy and Cockefeller records wanted beef. Started cocking up my weapon, slowly loading up. I'll just mention my favorites. Y'all impatiently waiting like an AIDS test. What's the results? Not positive. Who's the best? Pac, Nas, and Big. Completely leaving out Jay-Z. And then you got to think about that, you know, an AIDS test, not positive, impatiently waiting. You're like, yeah, have you guys ever got an AIDS test? You are impatiently waiting. And hopefully it's not positive. Know what I mean? What else? Burner at the side of your dome. Come out of my throne. I got this locked since 9-1. You know, I love that line. You know, it's just gangsta. Nas gets a little gangsta there, a little aggressive. And then the last one that I'll quote here is when he says, "You seem to be only concerned with dissing women. Were you abused as a child, scared to smile? They called you ugly. Well, life's harsh. Hug me. Don't reject me or make records disrespectfully, vaguely or indirectly," something like that. I don't know, man. I love that fucking verse, though. It's just like he's just going under the belt on Ether, under the belt. And he kills him. He totally destroys Jay-Z on it. I don't know who got the last laugh. You know, Jay-Z is mega rich, married to Beyonce. And Nas is still cool, man. He's still I wouldn't say he's under the radar, but I think he still keeps that street mystique, but enjoys that commercial success still. So, Ether, man, what a fucking dope-ass track. Then we go to the next track, Got Yourself a Gun. This is another one of those bright, uplifting beats, you know. I love the keys in the back. The bass totally slaps. The samples are pure gold. The killer hook. It's a perfect track. He made a video for this. I guess I didn't really watch it because I couldn't listen to the censored version. It just didn't feel right to me. But his lyrics are on point. His flow is just one of the best flows that he's had on this record and up to this point. This is totally one of the best Nas songs ever, in my opinion. It's one of my favorites.
You saw me in belly with thoughts like that. To take it back to Africa, I did it with Biggie. Me and Tupac were soldiers of the same struggle. You lanes to huddle, your team shook, y'all feel the wrath of a killer. Cause this is my football field. Throwing passes from a barrel, shoulder pads a paddle. But the QB don't stand for no quarterback. Every word is like a sawed-off blast, cause y'all all soft, and I'm the black hearse that came to haul y'all ass in. This for the hood by the corner store. Many try, many die. Come at Nas if you want a war. Get it bloody.
At this point, I am just hooked into this record. The first time hearing it back in the day, I'm hooked into this record. We got a cool intro, we got Ether, and then we got Yourself a Gun. Beautiful, man. Just fucking beautiful. No better way to start off a record. Might be the best start I can remember of recent history on any Nas record. It's just magical so far. And then the fourth track, Smokin'. This one is, the precision is on the beat, and this is like a smoke track for sure, right? That's how I feel like it. But the writing, like, it's like a movie, man. No one does this. Like, no one paints a picture like Nas, He's just painting here, man. In my opinion, this track really shows off his skill, his ability. He's in rare form, just rare, real fine form here, man. The guy's just brilliant.
Guns, I pass up to my niggas, come on. Zoom, from outer space he comes. Blunt in his mouth with his hand on his gun. Bitches flapping their gums, do he be clapping and shooting guys? Actor or movie star, rapper, revolutionized. What is his race, nation, or creed? Is he Arabic, black, Latin, Asian? They read magazines say I walked on water, talked to the heavens, spit at judges, stepped on peasants. But in reality, I just entered your galaxy. September 73, up in these wild streets, fucking these wild freaks, a harem of hoes, and my mystique got him.
And I really don't even have the words to describe how brilliant, how dope, how awesome Nas is on this track. And I'm just talking about the flow. The beat isn't even that complex. It doesn't really change much. It stays consistent. But what's cool is that Nas is the one who's hooking it, or he's switching it up here, man. He makes the hook. He has like a little intro for it. The singing at the end. You might not even need a beat here, but thankfully we do, man. And I like the beat. It's cool. It's dope. It's simple. It's not over complex. But you let Nas do the heavy lifting on this track, and you are not disappointed, man. Smokin' is a dope ass track. So, the fifth track, You Are the Man. You're the man. Nice percussions here. Nice flow. Easy concept. It's a dope concept. This flow, the violin in the back, man, really gives it like a classy vibe. It's just that Nas energy that sometimes he gets. It's like an East Coast thing or something. It's almost like Frank Sinatra-ish. But this is I think this could be a 5-star track on any other CD, but because this is in the vacuum of Stillmatic, I don't like it as much as I like the tracks before it and maybe after, but I still love the song. I got to give it like 4.5 stars, really, 4.5. To me, it's not as dope as Ether or Got Yourself a Gun. It's still cool, though. I like it, man. Rewind, number 6. Man, this track. Has anybody ever done a track like this? It took Nas writing a whole song backwards to make me to listen to every single word, and pay attention. And this is that song, man, where I'm just like listening to every word. And like I said, Nas is just a painter, man. And you can just vision that whole song, the whole scenario, just going from, end to beginning, it's end to beginning because it's backwards. It's in reverse.
We hitting the ropes, the smoke goes back in the blunt gets bigger in growth, jungle unrolls it, put his weed back in the jar, the blunt turns back into a cigar, we listen to Stevie, it sounded like heavy metal fans spinning records backwards of AC/DC, I give my niggas dap, jump out the van back first, back upstairs, took off the black shirt, I'm in the crib with the phone in my ear, Listen up so y'all can figure out the poem real clear. The voice on the phone was like, outside, right, we. So with my mouth wide, holding my heat. Bullets, I had plenty to squeeze.
You know, he's undeniably a genius for this track. It's a 5-star track, needless to say, for sure. And you might think that Nas would be the only guy that could pull this off. If somebody else has pulled it off, let me know, because this is really something else from Nas. I think it's fucking cool. Rewind. What can you say? Classic. Genius, classic, daring. Like, who would dare try? You know, it's cool. Next track, One Mic. You know, you want to talk about a masterpiece. This is a masterpiece. It's a track that starts off calm, it's slowly, but it brings tension, and the descriptions of what's going on by Nas, you know, again, only he can paint like this, and he goes into like these spiritual topics, or like he gets spiritual on it a little, and he gets gangsta, and then the track, you know, reaches some kind of climax, but it brings you back down to the still waters again. It's like an emotional roller coaster, this song. When you think it's over, like around 3 minutes, the beat gets busier, but never too crazy, like never too distracting. It just keeps you on edge. It gets real risky, and then it's back to the calm. You know, I'm telling you, at that 3 minute mark, it's just like, damn. This is epic.
Little niggas is grown, hood rats, don't abortion your womb. We need more warriors soon, sent from the stars, sun, and the moon. And it's like a police chase, street sweepers and coppers. Stick up kids with no conscience, leaving victims with doctors. If you really think you ready to die, with nines out, this is what Nas is about, nigga, the time is now. All I need is one mic. All I need is one mic. That's all I need. All I need is one mic.
Is it the crown jewel? Maybe, man. We're going to find out. But it's an epic track. It's a masterpiece. Second Childhood. You know, it wouldn't be Nas without the wisdom that he has, would it? I mean, this is a guy who's just writing these lyrics, and what he's saying here is so vivid, you know. The beat's cool, you know. You know, I like the scratching on it. Everything about it is cool, you know. Second Childhood. The lyrics, the story, the point that Nas is making is kind of like about growing up, you know, don't stay too immature. His storytelling is kind of like this advanced Slick Rick, but in the end, it's more of a, like, there's a moral to the story. It's more of a, like, hey, here's some wisdom for that ass. It's cool though. I really love the track, man. It's got to be like a 4-star track. But then, you know, we get to the 9th track, Destroy and Rebuild. Now, I was just mentioning Slick Rick, but this one right here, the guy is totally channeling the Rula, you know, and it works for this track. It's fucking dope. I love it. It works so well with Nas's flow, his writing, the storytelling that he has on Destroy and Rebuild. The beat is almost secondary here. Just that flow is just crazy. I love the flow is almost, it seems narcissistic or arrogant, you know, like Nas is just feeling himself while he's writing and spitting out on the mic here. So there's like vague disses and other disses scattered throughout the track. I didn't really like go into detail or looking to see why or who he's dissing here, but it's one of those tracks. I know it. And we get into the 10th track, The Flyest. Up to this point, you know, we've been blessed with no guest appearances, but if you had to have a dude, AZ is that guy who sounds cool with Nas, usually, you know, and this is a hell of a beat and a hook, man. First off, I love that singing in the back. It's, or, you know, the singing in the back of the hook is just so cool. I don't know who that lady is doing it, but strong voice. And when it comes to the music, there's like a string back there that's just going off, you know, while they're doing their thing, and it gives me like this James Bond like vibe, you know, you know. But I love the track. It's a 5-star track, man. I love the flows, the writing. Everybody just does so good on here, man. It was orchestrated, produced, whatever, man, architected so well. It's a 5-star fucking song. The Flyest. 11, Rule. This is obviously a song made for mass commercial appeal. He continues to paint here like the Da Vinci of rap, in my opinion. The way that he's just telling a story here, writing his opinion, his vision. It's almost political. It deals with, the world at that point, and it doesn't even sound outdated today. 3 years later. It's pretty cool. It's crazy. The production, like I said, is on point. Took some 80s song, Tears for Fears. I don't know who that is. I just saw it on the wiki, but I remember hearing the song as a kid. This mix is out there, man. It's dope. I love the song. Would not skip it ever. 5-star track, though, in my opinion. Getting to number 12 here. My Country. Millennium Thug. I never heard of Millennium Thug. But it kind of feels like a political track. Vague politics there. It's kind of a mid track, to be honest. I think it's just kind of something to get you through 12 to 13, I think. I don't even think it was an outtake. Nas, for some reason, I've heard people say they don't really trust his ear for music. And maybe that's what we're getting here. Because it's not like my favorite beat. It just seems to be not as, I don't know, like the other songs before this, I like way better. This one, though, I don't skip it. I never skip the song. I listen to it. But, it feels like it's about time for the record to end already. Like right now, it's solid, but I think I'm almost getting tired and I'm ready for this record to end. That'll take us to 13, What Goes Around. And what do you know? It's more of that OG Nas wisdom. Pretty impressive how long he's been spitting this wisdom, and I mean, he's been rapping for years, but even back then, you thought he was OG because he had that OG mentality. Same thing here, man. I love the strings, the keys, and the bells. It's got a cool. It's a hard hitting song because of the lyrics. The beat's hitting too. I think it was pretty thought provoking though. This song, What Goes Around Comes Around. It's got unforgettable lines. I never skipped this track. I'm gonna give it 4 stars. It's not my absolute favorite, but I do love the song, and I think it's a fine way to get to the end of the record here. But then we get to number 14, Every Ghetto, which is the song that I would have to give a strike to. I get it's a deep thought type of track. The lyrics are tight, but the beat just doesn't do it for me. It's I don't know, man. It just feels like at this point, it's a short song. I get it. And I feel like they're having mercy on me. Like, this song's going to be tough, but it's the last song, And that's how it ends. So we have, in my opinion here, we have about, 12, 11. I mean, we have an intro and then 2 songs that are kind of questionable. So, about 12 or 11 fucking dope ass fire songs. That's not bad, man. That's how some records are when they're just fucking perfect. I know the record isn't perfect, but it's still a fucking dope record. So let's talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good. 95% of this record is super tight. I'm talking production, beats, and flow. Like, it's magic, man. It's fucking magic. Nas has a voice that's like the hip-hop heroin. It makes you want more. It's like a drug, but it gets better the more you listen. The more you listen to his lyrics, man, you're just like, damn, man, it's fucking tight. And lucky for us, there's a lot of Nas records out there. I love it, man. It makes you pay attention. A lot of the lyrics, the writing, what he's painting here, you pay attention, man. Especially the song where he's rapping that story backwards. Damn, man, that captures your imagination and your attention like no other song maybe has. It's fucking brilliant. And the beats, they're completely up to the challenge. Large Professor, DJ Premier, Ron Browse, standout work here. Standout work. And what's up with that Hangman 3 doing the intro on this? Like, is there more Hangman 3 shit on out there that Nas did? It's funny because I'm pretty sure the Source magazine was dissing Nas just not even a year later. And Hangman 3 isn't, I think that's been Zeno's team, or was, whatever. So on this record, in this space and time, Nas is pretty arrogant. He's got like a hint of gangsta on him here. And the way that he's writing lets us know that he's the real deal. You know, he's that OG guy. Everything you need to know about Nas and his hood life, a lot of it was poured out onto Stillmatic. You'll never get another Stillmatic. You can't duplicate what was. It's that space and time. And I really loved the Nas aura that was happening right about here, that Nas energy. The Immortal Ether track will, etch this record into history. But even that wasn't enough to call this record a must buy. This record was a must buy because of all the awesome tracks that were around it, like 11 fucking 5-star, 5 fire tracks on one record is crazy. And Nas isn't even from the West Coast. And I say that because I'm like this West Coast, my bias is on the West Coast. So any 5-star record is always on the West, in my opinion. This one kicked my ass because I was like, this is fucking East Coast shit. Damn, man. I was blown away. Ether is what made me buy this record. But I was so surprised with all the other fucking dope tracks that were on here. This made me a complete Nas fan. It's a masterpiece, this record. From the best diss track ever written to the hype ass, got yourself a gun, the mind-blowing rewind. That's genius, that reverse story, and then the epic masterpiece of One Mic. Everything else on here is just gravy. It's all fucking gravy as far as I'm concerned, making this easily a 5-star record. The bad. Okay, I think the album fizzles out on the last track. I can get through it knowing that it's the last track and it's kind of a short track. Like I said, I feel like it's having mercy on me, but I feel like there's some outtakes. And we'll get into the ugly now. Like, we know there has to be outtakes from this record that didn't make it. Could have been on the Lost Tapes 1 or 2, or who knows, wherever, But I don't know. I think I would have only swapped out the last song with something else. And something else that was interesting is that there used to be a track on here. What was it called here? Brave Heart Party, that was removed. Mary J. Blige requested that they removed the song from the album. I don't know why. And Swiss did the beats, Swiss Beats. So, they removed it so fast that even back in the day when I bought this, I did not get that song on my CD. This one right here that I got, I just ordered it off eBay. I have no idea what happened to my OG CDs. But this one, sealed and everything, this track did not make it. Oh well, what are you going to do? So, in conclusion, I think this is a 5-star album still. I listen to it more than once a year, and it gets better every time, man. My opinion on the last song doesn't really have any, doesn't really scratch the classic status it deserves. It's, in my opinion, there's more quality here, less quantity, and I'm all for that, more quality, less quantity. History, I think, has been really kind to Nas. His less favorable records never really tarnished that legacy he has, or the mystique, or the status of like the greatest lyricist on planet Earth. But as of now, I'm gonna say that Stillmatic, out of all those records, I think this one's my favorite. I think it's my favorite album. But who knows? We got Hip Hop Is Dead coming up. On one of our future revisits, I might change my mind. We'll see how the tier list goes. There's a lot of Nas records out there. That's going to do it, man. If you fuck with the channel, hit the subscribe. If you're on the podcast, give us a review to the podcast gods, being Apple and Spotify. This is the Gangsta Rap Odyssey. Thanks for checking out the channel. I'm out. Go listen to some Nas. Peace.